Hi, my name is Ryan Sloan, and I want to thank you for joining us on the Gear Cage today. And Happy New Year, Happy 2020 to everyone. I thought I would start off the year here by talking about one of my most commonly asked questions from my clients, and that is, what is the best recording studio that I can get under $1,000? The good news is in 2020, you can get a lot of recording studio, a lot of gear that's stellar for that 1,000 and below price point. But a lot of people are confused as to what they need as they build their studio. So oftentimes they'll purchase things they don't need or go down paths that they shouldn't go down to build their studio. So I do this day in and day out for my clients. So I want to help you do it right the first time. So take notes here, and we'll be sure to build you a really great studio. So here we go. The first part of the studio, and we've talked about this in other videos here recently, would be audio interfaces. That is the hub of your whole studio. That's what you plug your microphones into. That's what you plug your monitors into. So this is the foundation of your studio. Now, price point wise, if you've watched the other videos, you know that I really do like these Focusrite Scarlett interfaces. This is a Focusrite Scarlett Solo Generation 3. Actually comes with a USB-C to USB cable, so you can plug it right into your machine. Very reliable, priced extremely well, and just really sounds phenomenal for this $120-ish price point. So I think that this is a solid performer that you should keep in mind. There is a slightly larger big brother to this unit called the 2i2 that generally comes in right around $149. If you do need that capability to record two microphones simultaneously, that is my go-to in that price range. But again, we're able to start at about $120 and have a really solid foundation for our recording studio. Next, the studio monitors potentially are the most critical piece of everything when it comes to audio production, because all of your mixing decisions are made based on what you're hearing. So everything is going through the audio interface and the studio monitors. I chose a few of my personal favorites here for our purposes here today in terms of a budget studio monitor. The Kali Audio LP6 are phenomenal. Bang for the buck wise, they're off the charts. You can get these for $149 a piece. So for basically $300, you get two amazing 6.5-inch studio monitors that actually have room controls. And you don't see room controls as far as adjustments on the back of the monitor on a lot of monitors at this price point. So again, these sound phenomenal, and with the controls, you can really dial them into your space. Whether you're right up against a wall or you're a little bit away from a wall, that will help you really dial in your sound. Next here, we have the JBL LSR 305s. And these have been the most popular monitor that we've been selling here for probably 4 or 5 years now. This is actually the previous generation. There is a new generation of these out, but they've only made improvements to them. Price-wise, these are generally about $149 a piece as well. Sometimes if you're a thrifty or savvy shopper, you can purchase them during a sale. And if you can do that, sometimes they can be had for as little as $100 a piece. Absolutely phenomenal value for a name brand monitor like JBL for that price. So definitely put either the Kali Audio or the JBL on your list. And now, for the sake of balancing this huge tower we have here, and at least showing another model that's popular, we have the Yamaha HS series monitors. Also a fantastic choice, but they do start to creep up in price point a little bit in that $300 to $450 range, depending on the model that you get. So for our purposes today, we're going to say to stick with either the LSRs or the Kali Audio monitors to build that budget studio out. Now, something that a lot of times people don't think about, but things that are important for recording would be headphones. These are the Focal Listen headphones. These are my personal favorites right now, under $500. They sound phenomenal. They're extremely comfortable with these plush ear cups, and they're made by Focal, which is one of the best monitor brands on the market today. If you do want to keep things a little more budget friendly, like we're talking about in this video, I do suggest the Shure SRH 440s. That's my number one go-to, right at that $99 price point. Also, the Sennheiser HD280s are extremely popular, followed by the Sony MDR 7506s. And we'll put links to all of these down in the notes so that you can go check them all out. But any of those would be a fantastic headphone to get started with your home recording studio. So let's recap with what we've talked about so far. We've talked about the audio interface. That is the foundation of your studio. We've talked about your studio monitors. We've talked about headphones. And obviously you have to have a microphone. A lot of people opt to start with a studio condenser when they get started. That's really great for capturing really sensitive vocal parts. It's great for capturing instruments like acoustic guitars. In some cases, even doing drum overheads with condenser microphones because of their sensitivity. One that I do recommend is the SE2200. It's a fantastic microphone. I do recommend spending a little bit more on your microphone because, again, this is the source. This is where everything starts. And even though you do have plugins and other tools to manipulate the audio after the fact, a lot of times if you start with a high quality microphone up front, you don't have to do as much on the back end. Another microphone that I actually lent out, so I don't have it here right now, is the Aston Microphones Origin. This is my personal favorite microphone under $300. It was voiced by top engineers and producers and sounds phenomenal at sub $300. The build quality is also second to none. It's actually manufactured in the UK versus most microphones at that price point being manufactured in China. All huge things, so do check that one out. In fact, I'll be doing a dedicated video on that one here to show it off here in the future. All right, so now we have our interface, we have our headphones, we have our microphones, we have our monitors. We're almost there in terms of what we need to get started with our home studio. There are only two components left. And one of them is a hard drive. Do not forget the hard drive. Whether you're storing samples or your computer audio sessions from Pro Tools or Logic or Studio One, you're going to need a hard drive. It's always good to have redundant drives for backup, maybe even having one physical drive and storing other session file data to the cloud, but do always keep it in two places. And do use a reliable hard drive manufacturer such as Glyph or G Technology. This is a G Technology drive. It's fantastic. It's extremely reliable, has very fast transfer speed. I can't talk highly enough about it. And also, I do really like the Glyph Black Box SSD series drives. In fact, that's actually what's recording this video through the Blackmagic camera right now. So both fantastic brands. You can get one these days for as little as $99 to $150. The final component, and really the final piece that you need aside from cabling to build your home studio setup, is the software itself. And in 2020, my software recommendation has to be Studio One from PreSonus. The price point's fantastic at $99, and you have the option to upgrade and get plug-in support with the professional version and unlock lots and lots of other new features as well. So because of their pricing model, because of the frequency with their updates, I really do strongly encourage people to go to Studio One these days. And my customers seem to have a lot of success making a lot of great mixes and songs in Studio One. We can't talk about recording without talking about Pro Tools. And actually, there is a version of Pro Tools First, which is an introductory product that comes with the Focusrite Scarlett series. It is a little bit limited. So for our purposes today, I would also mention potentially getting a Pro Tools subscription. If you pay for it by the year, it ends up being about $299 per year. But for budget-conscious customers, you can also pay by the month. And it's only $34.95 per month to get Pro Tools. So you can use it as you need it and then stop when you don't. That's a cool thing. So you can keep all of your hardware up and running, and as you need Pro Tools, just subscribe by the month. That helps keep costs down, and it also gets you the industry-leading standard software, which is Pro Tools. So if you plan to collaborate with other professionals, perhaps across the country or world, Pro Tools is probably something that should be on your radar. Other notable softwares to check out would be Logic from Apple, as well as Ableton Live. Those are other top softwares. If you have any other questions, please do leave them in the comments here or send us a message. And if you're enjoying the channel so far, do subscribe. In fact, subscribers are going to be getting a bonus opportunity here to win some of the gear that you see here in the coming months. So do subscribe, tell your friends about it, and we look forward to talking on the next video. My name is Ryan Sloan, and we'll talk to you soon.